It's always so hard to give a talk just before lunch because people are hungry, and then just after lunch because people are still in the siesta. So I'm going to try to make this short. My time has been cut, but hopefully I'll be able to compress everything. Right, my name is Rumbidzai Mudzengere. I'm the Managing Director of Africa's Connect, based in Zimbabwe. So I was asked to give a talk about the journey. And you know, it's always so difficult to talk about a child. I tried to put it on a PowerPoint presentation, but I was like, okay, this is more like a personal journey, so I'll just talk from the heart. My journey started in 2011. I was Miss Tourism Zimbabwe. So fate found me in order for me to be here. And from there, I worked with the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority for about 6 years, where I was marketing executive. So we used to market the destination. So my passion then started from there. You know, whenever we attend business conferences, we always hear people say, you know, when you see an opportunity, when you see a chance, grab it. But in all honesty, is when you see the money. So I saw like there's opportunity in private sector, and I decided, okay, let me try to follow the money and see if I can make it. It was a wake-up call because it's not always as easy as we think it is. We always think that, okay, you know, I'm just going to get someone to fund me, and then I'm just going to be living pretty. So my journey with Zimbabwe Tourism, yeah. Oh, sorry. I was told to stand down here. I move a lot when I talk. So in 2016, I left the authority and pursued a solo journey and started African. The goal was to promote travel to African destinations, bringing in your Americans, your Europeans. And then I thought to myself, but I'm a local, and I also want a product that talks to me as a local person. So with that, that's where my focus is going to be on the domestic products that we launch. I had a video that I was trying to get uploaded, but I don't think it's going to work out today. So anyway, we'll just proceed. So we created the Bush experience. If you have connectivity, you can just go on the Instagram page or Facebook page so that you can just see it as I'm talking. So the Bush experience is something that is not new. It's an outdoor dining facility whereby you're dining and there are animals that are surrounding you. So we do it very close to Harare. Why I'm saying it's not something new is because there are so many people, so many companies, so many organizations that do it. But you would find that they do it in resort places. So you need to travel to Victoria Falls, to Wange National Park, stay in one of the properties so that they can offer that to you. So I saw that as an opportunity, and I was like, okay, we're going to start something and cut out the major costs for people which are traveling in accommodation. So we did it 20 kilometers outside the city of Harare. So you just go there with your family and your friends, and then after your meal, after your experience, you go home. So your only cost is for the parking entry and the meal. So what we then did is we started partnering with other organizations like the National Parks of Zimbabwe. So now we're opening, in August, we're going to be opening a new site. It's at Windhoek Botanical Gardens. And we're still going to start the Bush experience. We're not funded. Up until now, our company has not been funded by any entity. We self-fund. We started small. You start with what you have and where you are. So we started small with 1 table and 6 chairs. That's how we started. And now we can accommodate about 300 people for a dinner. So you can see the growth that we've had in the last 3 years. Thank you. So our greatest marketing tool was we asked ourselves, okay, we want people to come, but how are we going to draw people to come? So we have a statement that me and my team will always use. We always say when we're posting or when we're creating an experience, is it going to be Instagrammable? Because now society, everyone is always on their phone. People come to a certain place, they go to a certain place because they've seen someone there. So we're like, okay, we have to make it Instagrammable. We have to have camera people take certain angles, certain positions, and then people, when they see it or when they see someone they know there, then they're going to be able to also come. So our social media, what we did, because our company is divided into two, there's the international aspect of the company and there's the domestic aspect, which is the bush experience. So we also had to separate the two businesses. Why? If you go online, fortunately I don't have the videos. If you go online, you're going to see a page called Africa's Connect, right? And then you're going to see the bush experience Harare. Comparing the two pages, Africa's Connect is the travel side of the business. It has about 900 followers, right? And then the bush experience has about 7,000 followers. So you see, if we had tried to combine, there was going to be one product that was going to override the other. Because bush experience will post it more regularly, and it's mostly for a targeted market, which is the domestic one. The Africa's Connect side of the business, it targets international. And with international, there's so many other marketing tools that we have to use to draw people to come. Because no one is really not going to see your picture and be like, oh, okay, that is a cute picture, I'm going to book with these people. There's issues of trust that you have to have with the client. So you need to know how to separate your businesses and say, okay, for this business, this is the marketing tool that we're going to use, and for this one, this is how we're going to do it. So another very important aspect is also networking. Your network is your network, right? So you need to be able to fund, and it's very expensive. You need to fund yourself to go to certain places. Conferences, events, yes, you have to take out money for you to make money. Because right now you are here, you're talking to a lot of people, you're going to have networks that you're going to use the next time or when you need something. So if you have not come to the conference, no one is going to look for you and say, oh, okay, I hear you're a student today. I just want to talk to you about business. So you really have to invest in yourself and invest in your business. So there are things that people don't teach us when we're starting off in business. And I had worked for Zimbabwe Tourism Authority for a very long time. And I was in marketing. But there are certain things that I didn't know we're supposed to do. I knew that, like, as a tourism player, you have to remit your levy to ZTA, but I never knew how it's done. So I found myself in a position where, you now want the tourism licenses, you now want to be registered, and you're like, oh, I knew about this, but I didn't know how it's supposed to be done. So I put myself in a position where I was like, I'm going to learn everything. In as much as at times you might be able to get people who are going to, you're going to subcontract people to maybe do your taxes, to do your marketing, but I would advise always know exactly what it is they're supposed to do. Because you can't trust someone to do your taxes when you do not know how taxes go. So I went to the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority, and they actually hold classes every month where they train you on what it is you're supposed to pay. You need to know that my company is registered this way. Why is it registered as an LLC versus all the other options? So all of those things you need to be able to say, okay, my taxes are going to be calculated like this. So if someone is going to do it for you, usually organizations like that, they have systems whereby you can log in and see like your returns online. So you have to be able to log in and see, okay, everything is above board. Because you might be paying someone and they're not doing it. So always be thorough, because it's like your child. If your child has a full nappy, and the nanny is going to or not. So treat your business as your baby. And the other thing that is very important that I learned, like it's a journey, like I said, and the journey is never ending. You keep learning every other time. This year is the first year that I actually had to engage, and I'm happy that earlier on you spoke about it. I had to engage a lawyer because the business is growing, there are partnerships that are starting to happen now, and then you don't want to find yourself in a position where it seems like it's the greatest thing to happen, and then it will be your greatest nightmare. So engage a lawyer whenever you're signing anything, any contract, even if you think it's not important. It's important for you to have someone who knows the legal jargon to just go through it and advise you to say, okay, you know what, question them about this, question them about that. So please make sure it's expensive, yes, but business, if you're going to make money, you have to spend money. The other thing is when the bush experience started growing, we had so many people who started taking interest in it. So when you don't have anyone, when you're on zero, no one is interested. They're just looking and watching. And then when there's now momentum, because now you're starting to host diplomats, you're hosting ministers, you're hosting companies. Now people are like, oh, okay, there's something there. And people are going to approach you wanting to partner and to invest. One thing you always need to remember is not everyone with money is an investor. Because people might have money, but they might not be good at running businesses. So you need to do your due diligence. We've had a lot of people that have approached us to say, oh, okay, okay, we just need to like that. So we've had so many people approaching us and saying, oh, we want to partner with you. This is a very great initiative. And at times, at first, you get so excited. You're like, oh, okay, at least it's so much weight off my shoulders. But then you realize that, this person, once you start going through who they are, how they run their businesses, they have maybe 20 businesses that they've started and failed, but they have the money. Then you see that, okay, this might be a bad decision. So always keep that in mind. Have the perfect people, have your due diligence, inquire from people, even in the business world, to say, okay, there's this company. What do you know about them? And then, just as I round off, in Zimbabwe there is Sanganai Sanganani that is going to be happening in October. Try as much to go for international travel shows. Yes, it's good if you're Namibian to go for the ones locally, but you also need to expand your horizon. You need to network beyond your borders. Google. No one is going to come and tell you that, okay, there's this. Knock on every door. There's your ministry, there are tourism boards, there are private organizations, associations. Partner with them, go for events, ask questions. This is how you grow. Unfortunately, I wanted to talk more, but because of our time, I'm just going to round off. I don't know if I can take questions or not.
Yes, you can take 2 questions.
Okay, so I'll just take maybe 2 questions from the floor before I go. Questions, not comments. Anyone? Okay. Can we please have the mic? There's a lady sitting there from the front.
Good evening, Rumbidzai Mudzengere. Nice to meet you. I love the presentation. My name is Kogani, and I'm from Botswana, from the organization Women for Botswana. I love your presentation. So I wanted to let us know realistically, because you said before you started your business you were working, right? How often, because as you're in a business the money runs dry, how often did you want to just proceed and go back?
Even now. I say it's not an easy journey. Stuff that I was going to talk about. There are moments, COVID hit in 2020. My business was just 2 years old, and it was very difficult. Like you want to hang your boots, you want security because you want someone else to worry about paying. But then now you have employees, and now you're worried, how am I going to pay them? So it's not an easy journey. It's hard every time you want to quit. But you always have to look at the bigger picture. Have a vision, have goals, and say, okay, and also have a backup plan. Always think of the worst situation that you can find yourself in to say, okay, what if this happens? What am I going to do? So you have to prepare for any eventuality. So yeah, there's no formula to it, but I'm sure everyone who started a business before has always wanted to quit. Okay, so to conclude, I'm not going to take another question, but as young people, we need to stop being a generation of entitlement. We always feel like we're entitled to getting stuff, when the government has to make a plan for us to get money, banks have to give us money. Always make sure that people want to partner with you. Have them look for you. Prove your point that, okay, I have done this, and now you can state your case and say, okay, this is my track record. And you'll be able to ask for better. Thank you so much. Please follow the talking to